The ocean is an incredible place. Let's keep it that way. Join us as we hunt for sustainable seafood. Your seafood choices matter for the future of ocean health. Hey, it's Sarah Curry. In this episode, we're going fishing off the coast of Miami with 3 South Florida chefs, Chef Todd Erickson, Chef Alan Susser, and Chef Dean Max. We're catching fish for a sustainable seafood community dinner to help chefs and locals become more connected to their seafood.
So today was a great day on the water. You know, out here on Biscayne Bay and out in the Gulf Stream, it was beautiful weather. We do this sustainable seafood dinner twice a year. We had a goal to catch fish, a kind of purpose to catch a lot of fish, and we talked about sustainable seafood. We talked about some of the issues that we have individually, and we talked about some of the industry-wide and some of the things that we face with fresh fish, with the demand for fresh fish. So I think having that conversation with chefs who are very influential with what they're buying and what they're using in their restaurants and what they talk to their customers about.
Chefs are in a unique position to help drive sustainability forward, especially since some of us only eat seafood when we're out at restaurants.
I've actually been working with Captain Mike for about 3-4 years now. He really knows the boat, he knows the water, he knows what to look for to find fish. When I first started with him, I thought you just throw the line in the water and you pull out fish. There's so many different factors about catching fish or fishing for fish.
I'm chasing them out left here.
Captain Mike knows to look at the birds, to look what's floating, to look at the spray of the bait fish, how to get the bait fish, all of the little intricacies of fishing. We tried some top, did some wreck.
Coming back to you, straight right.
We tried some deep water, deep sea. We did some trolling. So we did 4 or 5 different methods of fishing. We started off, we've got a tuna, black tuna, small kind of football-shaped tuna, real nice slash. Then also got a rainbow runner, which is actually a nice sized rainbow runner. Fleshy, kind of pink flesh, but really good eating. I was really happy to get that.
Rainbow runners are prized among recreational fishermen and can be caught as bycatch in the tuna fisheries. But there isn't a commercial fishery that specifically targets them here in the U.S.
We got a couple mackerels, and then we have the classic fisherman story. The one that got away, that was like this big, the wahoo. It's all part of the story of fishing. Beautiful fish that got away, wish we could have, all the errors that happen, we relive it, and that's kind of part of the memorable part of going fishing and having a fish story to tell. But we didn't really catch a whole lot of fish. I mean, regretfully, I really thought that we would catch a lot more. Whether we catch or not, I think a lot of the story is that you don't always catch what you intend to.
We caught 2 big fish that we didn't keep. Barracuda pose the risk of ciguatera poisoning. Tropical fish that are high in the food chain, like barracuda, can bioaccumulate toxins from fish they've eaten. The toxin is actually from a marine algae that many smaller fish consume. These toxins are harmless to fish, but can make us sick.
You kind of learn some of the difficulties that fishermen go through. Some of the things of Mother Nature, and going fishing is not like harvesting. As chefs, we think, well, we'll go fishing, we'll catch a lot of fish, and we'll have a big fish party. It's not always so, and this trip it was not so.
On a global scale, half of the seafood we eat is farmed. And here in the US, the majority of seafood we eat is imported. Luckily, Captain Mike went fishing the next day and was able to catch a few more fish for our seafood dinner. At the Sustainable Seafood Dinner, Chef Alan also launched his new book that highlights lionfish, a very sustainable option here in South Florida. And all the appetizers at the event were made from lionfish, both ceviche and lionfish tacos.
This dinner is to involve you so that you become ambassadors for sustainable seafood as well as the chefs. And so with that, we were fishing yesterday out in the Gulf.
Yesterday on the fishing trip, we caught some rainbow runner, black tuna, 2 fish that are kind of nice top swimming fish around our area here. And they're kind of interesting because they're fish that you don't see in a lot of restaurants because they don't last very long. They kind of spoil really quick. We just caught them yesterday, so they're gonna be beautiful. So I'll do a crudo with those tonight. So the blackfin and the rainbow runner, they're both really clean eating, and they're best when they're kind of raw because when you cook them, they get a little bit sharper, more fishy flavor. So we're gonna leave those raw. They'll be super sweet like that. And then I'm just gonna use winter citrus right now. So oranges and grapefruit and ginger and turmeric. I made a beautiful reduction from all that, and that'll be the sauce. I love that connection with, being able to harvest something from the ocean and respecting that in the process and understanding what goes behind it.
These dinners are something that is absolutely a part of it, and we're doing a dinner like this.
I've been a chef for 18 years now. This is my first fish event with Chef Alan, but I do vegan events with him once a year in St. Lucia. Going fishing yesterday, I think my favorite part was just really getting to know the chefs better. Just being out on a day that was that spectacular, like it was so perfect, and just pulling in fish.
Well, at least we're getting a variety.
Seeing how fast the deckhand was too, like he was on it.
Sustainable seafood is important to me.
It's been important in all of the restaurants that I've opened.
I want to leave something for the next generation, and it seems like every day there's another news story of something going extinct, or it gets kind of grim. And to know that myself as a chef, that I can have an impact.
The story behind the fish, I think it does affect taste because in our minds it becomes more memorable. By being more memorable, it affects our perception of it for not only for us fishing, but also for our guests coming to it. And they want to know what that's about. The passion of it for a chef and a passion for people who love to eat good food want to be connected to what they're eating. It's not just blindly putting food in their mouth and not understanding the culture, the story, the history. That really affects. And I think it's a great thing to bring to the table. It's not just feeding us as energy, but it's the joy of eating and the joy of getting the food, and it makes a difference in the day, and that's kind of what food is all about.
It's more important than ever to support local chefs and restaurants when you can. And if you live by the water, learn about what fish are in season. Visit SorayaFilms.org to find out where to eat these chefs' food. Thanks for joining us as we continue our hunt for sustainable seafood. Here's what we'll be talking about on the next episode.
People think that spearfishers are just down there to shoot anything that passes, but it's really not that way. You're super selective. If you're blue water hunting, if you're hunting on a reef or a wreck, it's very different.